Well known people. Just want to do a quick video, show you my thoughts of where I'm expecting the BTC price going, and also the cryptocurrency market. Um, Starting off with the 4-hour time frame. I'm seeing, there's a few arguments you can make that are still bullish. You can say that we're having a broadening bottom where you have two trend lines, basically. Delete this real quick. You have, your resistance on this trend line, and you have your support at this bottom trend line. And I'm using the log, not linear. For my chart, I don't use linear at all, but you can see you haven't even hit the bottom of this trend line, which is typically could be a very bullish signal. It's showing that there's weakness with the bears at this point. Also, looking at your indicators, I mainly use the MACD and RSI. You can see on the 4-hour at that low, that last low, you're developing bullish divergence on that 4-hour MACD and RSI bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Another indicator I use sometimes just to kind of get a temperature of how severe or how, just how significant that divergence is the TDI-GM indicator. It's actually a TDI indicator. It combines several indicators into one. These blue lines are just like Bollinger Bands. It is baseline. I believe it uses something that's called the standard deviation. This red line is, I believe, is a moving average. Like I said, I turn it on sometimes. Sometimes most of the time I don't use it. But as you can see as well, with those last lows, you were diverging on this indicator. It's a very good indicator on longer time scales to gauge divergence. But also, you got that bullish divergence on the 4-hour that is starting to play out. I'm more looking at it, more so you're having this consolidation on BTC on the 4-hour, and you're trying to break this trend line. You can see the last 4-hour candle, we broke above it and then wicked down, but there's no follow through with the bears. They're starting to lose momentum. Divergence is an indicator of losing momentum. And so you have that bullish divergence on the 4-hour and have this like consolidation pattern at the bottom, whether, you're doing the broadening bottom or just this consolidation. And when you look at the daily right now, one thing I've been consistently referencing, let's delete these trend lines real quick. I'll smooth this out. One thing I've been consistently, mentioning is the fact that we are still technically making higher lows. Ever since your low back in January, we finally start to rally, we made another high low, you know, here. And, I was kept stating that if we broke below 37,790 on the daily, that this next potential higher low would be invalid. We're still above it. So until we break that prior low, it's still, you still have a bullish case combined with, the bull divergence on the 4-hour. If we can get some follow through the upside, you could be seeing, you'll be testing your resistance at 40,600. Break that, you can be back at 42,000. The next resistance after that is 44.6. And then your resistance is really this prior high. Will we get there? I mean, it's all going to be contingent on if we can get some follow through to the upside. There is a bullish case right now. And the fact that we keep failing to break lower is, if I was, a bear right now, I would be concerned, because to me, we break this trend line to the upside. It's about a 10% move, I believe. Yeah, I mean, you can just really just use this as like a miniature falling wedge. And yeah, it's like a 10 to 11% move to the upside. I mean, you could hit that measure move and then roll back over. I believe the measure move is right at that trend line of your, broadening bottom. So to me, I would not be short in this area. I'm expecting a move to the upside. It's looking a little bit more favorable for the bulls right now. I know one of the main reasons why the price has been decreasing has been the dollar. And you look at the DXY, something I've been mentioning on I do a segment on Crypto Blood's channel at least once a week. Usually I do on the weekend. I was telling people how, ever since January of 2021, I mean, you had your low, then you had your lower low, you had bullish divergence on your MACD, and you have bullish divergence on your RSI on the weekly, very significant time frame, something that you on these type of assets, if they do print, it's something you really do want to be aware of. So why everybody was, raging about how we're going to have hyperinflation and that the dollar was so bearish. I mean, where are all those people at right now? I've been bullish on the dollar since January 2021. Been, keeping track of it, trading it. You have broken so far this week. The week hasn't closed yet, but right now, tomorrow you could be confirming a 5-year, consolidation breakout. I'm starting to see a lot of people finally taking notice of that fact. And that's why your risk on assets and cryptocurrency assets have been losing a lot of value. But if you start to scroll into the lower time frames, I was looking at the hour time frame earlier. I mean, at the time it was divergent. I think it played out, and we are actually right now, the divergence really was weak. Didn't play out. I mean, we confirmed that weekly breakout. I'm expecting, the DXY to be hitting around 120. That's the measure move target. But looking at the smaller term, so smaller time frames right now. I mean, your RSI on the 4 hour is diverging, um, and is at 80. So we could get a pullback and test this trend line as support, even dip a little bit before running up, to higher prices. Maybe this is just it. Maybe this is a fake out on the weekly and we close below it. But all that is favorable right now for BTC to at least have a rally, 5 to 10% rally to the upside before any other more down, any more sell off. It looks weak. And also, I forgot to mention on BTC. Looking at Bitstamp, you have that low and then you have that higher low in the daily. You are developing hidden bullish divergence on your daily time frame, combined with the 4 hour bullish divergence. Like I'm saying, I expect I think this is on a lower time frame. Let me check real quick. Yeah. It looks more like looks more likely that we'll see, an impulse up right now than an impulse down. Anything's possible. TA is not perfect. It's just, what's more probable in this situation, especially if you break these highs around 40,000, 600, which is your very critical resistance on the daily. We break that, I think we're going to really start to accelerate to the upside. I think the dollar will start to, pull back a little bit, and we'll see a nice reaction for your risk on assets. Or, maybe tomorrow we just sell off, because one of the things I don't like is the S&P, but actually S&P is actually rallying today. And you could make an argument for your daily that you are right now developing hidden bullish divergence. I mean, you had this triple MACD, and I believe you had an RSI bullish divergence, and and RSI bullish divergence. I just don't have it marked off. And now you're making, you're developing some hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Let's see how this week ends. If we get any more positive, price action for S&P and the overall stock market, crypto is probably going to rally, and rally more right now because it's been overperforming the stock market. So this is what I'm seeing. And before I get out of here, I want to look at Tlos. Now it's just a coin right now that I'm tracking simply because I was in the Tlos Telegram group, and I started to track this asset more closely. It had a nice little, well, more than a little, it had a nice impulse up after it bounced off a resistance. This is the BTC pair. And as you see, I've been, tracking this asset, explaining in my last, first and last Telos video that I was in this coin since, averaging around like 8 cents. And this is something I've been, keeping my eye on. As you can see, some of these lines aren't where they should, but some of these patterns played out to the upside and, instantly rolled over. And what I was seeing on a daily for, I could actually delete this now and this one as well. What I was seeing on Telos's BTC pair was the fact that we were developing, you had this fallen wedge, but again, you were developing on a daily MACD bullish divergence. It hasn't even confirmed yet. So when I mean it hasn't confirmed, there's no positive momentum yet. That will be confirming that the bullish divergence is valid and is starting to play out. And so, I mean, we had it was up like 8% or 9% intraday, but it's rolled back a lot. And it's simply because you look at the 4-hour, not only did you have daily bullish divergence, you had 4-hour bullish divergence as well on the MACD. And I believe so on the RSI. No, you didn't have an RSI. But if you look at the 4-hour RSI, I mean, got overbought. And it's just not going back to, the bull control zone, which is above 60. And, as long as it goes sideways and starts to rally again, I mean, it's looking fine to see more higher prices combined with Bitcoin finally looking like it's stabling, and you're about to see it potentially an impulse, to the upside. You could see Telos start to really accelerate in price. It held that, I got a lot of lines on this one. I wasn't even charting this. Wasn't even using this chart. Let me use another chart that has no data. So Bitfinex. Yeah. Actually, let me use the chart I was using. It's not on Telegram. I mean, not Telegram, not on TradingView. So on Charts Pro. And here we go. I was mentioned if we broke that, 72 marker, that 72 support, that we come back and probably test this 50% area, and we haven't tested it. I mean, because you had that bullish divergence on the daily BTC pair, you bullishly engulfed yesterday and today, yes, and follow through. Let's see how it closes. You really want to close above 72 cents right now. I mean, this chart is kind of the lead. It's not very accurate as far as like using up-to-date data, but the current up-to-date data on Bitfinex, we're at 69 cents. You really want to close above 72, or you're just testing this area as resistance, and you could see some more downside, especially if Bitcoin doesn't play out to the upside. But that's what I'm seeing with Telos. You really want to get above 72, get above 72, you can see some, some positive price action. You don't, you just, flag here and roll over. It's not going to be good. You're going to be seeing that 50, 50 to like 52 cent support. And again, if you ever break that, it's going to be terrible. Or, that's what I'm seeing right now within the cryptocurrency market. I posted a video also as well of current trading strategy. Well, not necessarily a strategy, but just a method that I use to kind of like, for traders that don't have a lot of capital, because a lot of traders I come across, they get intimidated because of the type of account that you might have, or they might think you need tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a significant gain within trading cryptocurrency. But really, um, is really just being disciplined and understanding you know important signals like divergence and patterns and support and resistance and Fibonacci retracement tools. So just partly just going to be doing a series of you know the goal is to make 10 successful trades using 50x leverage, um, starting off with $25, and growing that account to 25K, which seems insane. But with this type of setup right now, we have in BTC. I'm currently long Ethereum. And I longed at 28.90. And actually looking at Ethereum right now, it actually has triple MACD bull divergence. And you have the RSI bullish divergence as well. I mean, you have Bitcoin looking like we're, losing momentum to the downside. Let me just hide this real quick. It looks like Bitcoin is losing momentum, and we're starting, the bears are losing momentum, and we're starting to, pivot and rally to the upside with BTC. So Ethereum will follow, depending on Ethereum's BTC pair. I'll look at that in a minute. Ethereum has been outperforming BTC as to the upside and downside. It has symmetric triangle, kind of failed, and now it's testing that as resistance. But if you get above it, I mean, kind of looks like we are. No, on the 4-hour, it was basically the same pattern as Bitcoin. Like a falling wedge and getting real close to a breakout to upside. And again, I believe it's another 10% move to the upside. So, the goal is every trade to make 2%, because it's 50x leverage that doubles the account. But if this, as your move is 10%, I mean, that's already, that's 5xing the account already off the 25. That skips as many trades. I don't have to do 10 successful trades. That cuts down to 5 or 6 trades. But it's just, like I said, it's just a strategy of, taking account. The risk is, you got to be within a 2% range, but it's, just being disciplined, going down to lower time frames and understanding that, at 2%, you can put a trillion stop loss and, continue to multiply the account. But, this is just the things I'm seeing right now within the crypto market, more crypto focus, being more crypto focused on this channel. As I stated before with the first video I posted, gonna be very informal, not really, not gonna be editing these videos, and just, just giving them my thoughts of where I'm seeing this market headed, and just looking over some BTC pairs that I frequently look over. This Ethereum PTC. I'm looking at, grand on a weekly right now. With the MACD, you did get positive momentum last week, and then it went right back to negative momentum. I would like to see some type of rally soon, or it's really going to roll over. And that's not bullish for my trade right now. I'll look at the lower time frames. That's just something I was looking at. Somewhat of idea. This is really no pattern. Just seeing if we're consolidating or if it respects, this current this trend line. But it's really just horizontal. You don't want to break that 0.073 0.96 area. But I mean, like I said, this is what I'm seeing right now within the market. A lot of people are bearish right now. A lot of bears right now. And I mean, I understand. I mean, stock market was selling off a lot. And the dollar was extremely bullish. But I mean, with that divergence, especially Ethereum, triple MACD bull divergence, that is a signal that bears have, are exhausted. They're losing momentum. And I mean, that bullish divergence has confirmed, and you're just building positive momentum right now. Really like to see, you get above this trend line of this failed symmetric triangle. And then, break this consolidation and just make a higher high. And again, you're making, seems like, again, another broadening bottom with Ethereum. Actually, this exceeds the broadening bottom for a breakout. This is just, traditional technical analysis. It's just my thoughts, what I'm seeing in the markets. Maybe I'll do a live tomorrow or later on or something. And I'll look at more assets. I mean, I have a shitload of, assets and charts and ideas. I don't know why this keeps getting banned, or I don't know why it's not trading on when it's ICP. I haven't looked at this in a while. Let me just look at this for a second. I'm making another lower low. I mean, this has just been a shit coin. I know somebody was buying this coin at like 115 or something like that. They were, so big on this coin. It's one of the reasons why I just continue to watch it. It looks like, straight up shit. Like, it's just the fundamentals of it, is the reason why it's just selling. It's a coin that is being basically it was created just for somebody to dump to make free money. And there's just I don't think there's any type of advantage right now on ICP. No, there's not. Is that a lower low? Yes, that is a lower low. Looks terrible. 1613. Oh, maybe it's not a lower low. Hold on. It has to be a lower low. It looks, yeah, it's definitely a lower low. Yeah, 14.99. Just terrible. Just terrible. Anything else? Look at FTM real quick. I bet somebody that FTM would, was done January 25th. The FTM was at its high was at like 250 and its low was 215. But on January 25th, it was basically, somebody was trying to argue with me that, TA is, unimportant, it doesn't, it's fake or whatever. And I was just like, okay, well, so let's make a little bet where, you pick a coin that you just like, and I'll use TA to see what coin performs, best in that in a certain time frame. And, you know, FTM has been getting destroyed. Their creator, I believe, left the project, and just terrible, terrible, price action since. I didn't like that was this bet was before all that news. I was just basing off the price action of the fact that, on the 25th, I believe I was looking at the 4 hour. There was some bearish divergence on the 4 hour. And I mean, it was looking like Bitcoin, where you're getting like a double top. And you broke that neckline and you try to rally above it and you're breaking below it. It looks terrible. I think I was looking, yeah, but right now, actually, you are developing some bullish divergence on the MACD on daily, not so much on RSI. Nope. Oh, yeah, you are, but you need Bitcoin to rally. This looks, like we're going to be seeing low prices. So mad at FTM. I bought at like under a penny on leverage, and I got stomped out, and it ran to like 13 cents. And I just never. I tried to, I day traded it multiple times, but I'm talking about way below here. I'm talking about, yeah, we're talking about December 2020. I was looking at FTM. It's actually here. It was actually before. It was in the fall of 2020. Very mad at this point. I mean, the gains I would have got off of that on a leverage. It was only like 5x leverage, but this simple fact that, they appreciate price so much. I mean, at the time, I didn't know anything about the project or anything. I mean, appreciate it over 20,000%, 23,000%. Yeah. Look at Solana. Something I bought when it was at 60 cents, and I'm not holding it anymore. It rallied earlier, but now it's, not looking as well. I'm just rambling now. You can see I've been, into these charts. So really, just the real Solana chart was this one on Binance. Yeah, I've been here before all the hype. I was here 60-cent range here. Heard about this coin because another coin, Kin, which was a shit coin in the 2017 run, moved their blockchain to Solana. Looked into the project a little bit. They said they were a scaling solution. Bought some coins, and really was trying to ride it to $1,000, but they start to have network problems, and I just ditched it after that. But incredible return from 60 cents to like 190 when I got out. Of course, I made another run to 266. But I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you got to take profit at some point, and that's what a lot of traders right now are, kicking themselves. A lot of newbies that have maybe got in late 2020. I mean, if you got even in late 2020 on Solana, you were still under $1. We're at $1 under $1. You got to take profit at some point. I mean, people really weren't talking about Solana until this breakout. And I remember, actually it was this breakout. But no, it was around like, I think it was this breakout. Because I remember telling, people like, this is the run, Solana breaks out of this pattern. I'm expecting it to go to $1,000. And unfortunately, we only got to 266. And then I had all this network problems. So I was just like, I'm done with this. Look at other, take the profit, look at other charts. Anything else? Really hoping this breaks out. I got a break even stop loss on this trade. I don't know why it would. I mean, usually like with BTC, when it rolls over, there's like hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bear divergence, or there's this bear divergence on like your 4 hour, and like right here, like you look for them. There's not even. Well, this is what I was talking maybe more. So I'll talk about from here, from this high to this high. You're getting less momentum on your MACD. And so you had hidden bearish divergence on your MACD. Now on your RSI. But that's the reason why you start to, you hit this high and you just rolled over. Many people be like, why is sell off? And also you have like a pattern on lower time frames. Delete this real quick. This measurement moves be in the way, but you had like a brought in wedge at the top. You just could not break it. And so you had that pattern, you had the hidden bear divergence on the MACD, the 4 hour, you broke the support, you just sold off. And, right now the critical thing is to break this last previous high, break that 40,600. You break that, you're probably going to be testing this trend line very soon. Like I said, it's way more bullish right now than bearish. And I'm expecting to make my 5x move, take that profit, wait for some consolidation on Ethereum. Way too many lines on this chart. And I was looking at this earlier. Because it really looks like it right now. It's like it's being, like with Bitcoin and Ethereum, looks like you're accumulating right now. Yeah, I'm flipping through charts right now, but it's flicking back and forth. But I'm just, like I said, this is going to be very informal. And this is just really just my thoughts. And it's just like right now, it seems like you're being accumulated because you just keep making higher lows. You keep making higher lows. And so if you ever break out of this pattern, it's a 30% run to the upside. I mean, you ever break out this pattern, you're probably going to see all-time highs. This type of accumulation for what's like 3-4 months now, January to, we're going into May, like 3 months of accumulation. Typical, typical patterns on larger time scales typically take like 90 to 180 days. But yeah, you ever break above, you're going to see all-time highs more than likely. It's either a bear flag or a bull flag, or accumulation right now. And right now, like I said, breaking out of this trend line will confirm the accumulation, but right now, just looking at the lower time frames, this is what I'm seeing as far as like you do have potential accumulation zone right now on BTC. Um, yeah, so it's definitely something if you're just pseudo bearish, um, something you might want to consider, that we are still consistently making higher lows on the lower, on a daily. And really, if you are a bear, what you're looking for is on a monthly breaking 35K, because that's the candle close on that, June low. But, this is what I'm seeing right now within the market. Kind of rambled at the end of this, but, this is how the channel is going to be for the most part. It's important that you don't get caught up in your emotions and really pay attention to what's going on in the charts. Really need this dollar to start to roll over. Well, not roll over, just to start correcting. And why the dollar is like gaining so much value? I mean, these other currencies are losing a lot of value. The euro is getting destroyed right now. Yeah, looks terrible. You're about to break the lows on a monthly. And I have, thought there was a harmonic pattern, but that's not valid. What's more valid is, is this off? I'll go to weekly. I don't think I show. Yeah. Definitely looks starting to look real bad. I mean, the measure move is all the way down to, euro is going to be at 89 cents of a dollar. I mean, when's the last time it was like that? It was 2000. Wow. And then, we had a massive, this is actually a massive, well, we had a .com bubble. So these are some of the things you want to pay attention to. I mean, the pound getting destroyed as well. Every currency right now is just getting destroyed against the dollar. That's something I haven't really been tracking. But I know a lot of these currencies just, man, getting destroyed right now. So maybe some the money is flown into the dollar, maybe it goes into crypto as well, which you're hoping if you're still bullish on BTC. But this video is way too long. But this is just my thoughts, what I'm seeing. Expected more. Expecting a pump.